The title Son of Man did not make Jesus popular. It made him dangerous. Most people today, and many in churches, assume Jesus used this title to emphasize his humility or his humanity. That assumption, while well-intentioned, is historically false. In the world Jesus lived in, Son of Man was not some gentle, poetic phrase. It was a judicial claim, a cosmic claim. And every educated religious leader in Jerusalem understood exactly what he was saying. Tonight, we're going to strip away the modern assumptions and return this title to its original, explosive context. When we do, one thing becomes crystal clear. Jesus was not misunderstood. He was understood perfectly, and that is precisely why he was condemned. Let's start by tackling the modern misunderstanding head-on. If you've been in church for a while, you've probably heard it explained that Son of Man refers to Jesus' humanity, while Son of God refers to his divinity. It sounds neat and tidy, but this explanation completely fails to account for the reaction his words provoked. Think about it. If Jesus was just going around saying, "Hey everyone, I'm a human being," why would anyone have accused him of blasphemy? Why would the high priest have torn his robes in outrage? No trial would have ended in execution for someone claiming to be human. The sheer fury his words caused only makes sense when we read them the way his original audience did, through the lens of Jewish scripture and the theological world of his day. The foundation for this title is found in Daniel chapter 7. This isn't just a minor reference. It's the bedrock. In this chapter, the prophet Daniel has a vision. He sees 4 monstrous beasts rising from the sea, representing a succession of violent, oppressive empires. It's a terrifying vision of human history, where power is built on brutality. But then the vision shifts dramatically. Daniel sees the Ancient of Days, God himself, take his seat on a fiery throne. A divine court is convened. Books are opened. It's a scene of ultimate judgment. And then Daniel sees something astonishing. He says, "I saw in the night visions, and behold, with the clouds of heaven there came one like a son of man." This figure approaches God's own throne. He doesn't just bow. He is given authority, glory, and a kingdom that will never be destroyed. All nations and peoples will serve him. Now let's pause there. In Jewish scripture, who rides the clouds? Only one being, God. This is not just some exalted human. The Son of Man in Daniel is a divine figure, authorized by God to judge the corrupt empires of the world and replace them with his own eternal, just rule. This vision was seared into the Jewish imagination. By the time of Jesus, during what's called the Second Temple period, Daniel's vision had been intensely studied, debated, and expanded upon. One of the most influential texts from this era was the Book of Enoch. While not part of the Bible, it was widely read and respected, and it shows us how people were thinking about these ideas. In Enoch, the character of the Son of Man is developed even further. He is described as a pre-existent being, hidden with God even before the world was created. He is the one who will be revealed at the end of days to act as the ultimate judge. He's not just a king. He's the one who will judge other kings and rulers. He is the defender of the righteous and the one who dismantles the corrupt power structures that crush the innocent. So, by the 1st century, the term Son of Man wasn't vague at all. It was loaded with meaning. It referred to a divine, end-time judge who would execute God's justice on earth. This is the context Jesus stepped into, and this is the title he chose for himself more than any other. So, why did Jesus choose this title? He rarely called himself Messiah. That title was politically loaded and could easily be misunderstood as a call for military revolution against Rome. The title Son of Man, however, was different. It allowed him to progressively reveal his true identity while keeping his claims firmly anchored in Scripture. It was a kind of divine code. When Jesus told a paralyzed man, "The Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins," he was making a staggering claim. His audience knew that only God could forgive sins. He was attributing a divine prerogative to the Son of Man to himself. Later, when he said things like, "The Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath," he was placing himself above the most sacred of Jewish laws. He wasn't hinting. He was declaring his divine authority. He was using the very language of Daniel and the traditions that grew from it to tell people exactly who he was. This all comes to a dramatic and violent climax during Jesus' trial before the Sanhedrin, recorded in Mark chapter 14. After a series of false witnesses fail to produce a charge that sticks, the high priest, Caiaphas, finally gets right to the point. He puts Jesus under oath and asks him directly, "Are you the Messiah, the Son of the Blessed?" Jesus' answer is direct and unambiguous. I am, he says. But he doesn't stop there. He continues, and you will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of the power and coming with the clouds of heaven. This is a direct, undeniable quotation and mashup of Daniel 7 and Psalm 110. He is telling Caiaphas and the entire ruling council, I am the divine judge from Daniel's vision, and I will be enthroned at God's right hand. And one day you will see me coming on the clouds to judge you. The reaction is instantaneous. The high priest tears his robes and shouts, You have heard the blasphemy. Why do we need any more witnesses? The charge was sealed. So why was this blasphemy? Jesus was not executed for claiming to be human, for being a good teacher, or for performing miracles. He was executed for claiming to share in God's own authority and identity. The claim to be the Son of Man from Daniel 7 placed him above all earthly authority, above kings, above empires, and most dangerously, above the high priest and the religious council right in front of him. It was a declaration that their power was temporary and subject to his ultimate judgment, while his was eternal and came directly from God. For the leaders of Israel, that claim was not just arrogant. It was an intolerable, blasphemous threat to their entire world. Jesus did not stumble into this controversy. He walked directly into it with his eyes wide open. The title Son of Man was not a humble disguise. It was a divine revelation. And when the crucial moment came, in that tension-filled courtroom, everyone understood exactly who he claimed to be. This is why the story of the Gospels unfolds the way it does. The tragedy is not that Jesus was misunderstood. The tragedy is that he was understood perfectly and rejected anyway. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you see the title Son of Man in a new light, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the biblical text. See you next time.